And if we're honest, God's been better to us than we deserve. I know He has. He's been better to me than I deserve. And I think you could say the same thing in your life, that God's just been better to me than I really deserve. And say, what do you deserve? Well, not much, but everything I get, I'm grateful for it. You know, I'm grateful for my church family, my family up north. I'm grateful for them. I get to talk to them. Now, I don't get to celebrate a lot of holidays with them. We've tried a couple times. It just went south real quick. So we're south. So it just did. I remember we were trying to go to Thanksgiving and celebrate with my family several years back when Andrew was just a little bitty guy. And we got in the car. We're excited. Andrew had a little bit of a cough the night before. I think not bad. But then we got up. We were getting ready to go. He starts coughing more and more and more. By the time we get to Ocala, he's coughing so much, we have to go in the emergency room. And we didn't get past Ocala. That's not a whole way close to Illinois, just in case you don't know. Ocala's it's not bad. And we sat there in the emergency room for several hours. He had RSV. And we couldn't go. It was sad. Matter of fact, it was really sad. And everyone wanted to go. We're all packed up. I mean, we got the whole van packed and stuff strapped down on the top. And we're good to go. And I remember one of our kids, I'm not going to tell which one, but she's not here today, so I'm going to say her name. But we were getting ready to go up. And I had thought it too. I didn't say anything, but bless her heart, we were all excited about going up there. And she said, Daddy, if he can't make it, could Mommy just stay with him and we could go? And I was thinking the same thing. But anyway, I didn't say that. I really want to see my family. You know, I hadn't seen them in a long time. I said, no, baby, I don't think I'd be right. And so we're there the whole time, RSV, and he's coughing, he can't go, and it's going to be worse in colder weather if we go up there. And so we don't end up going. And then Chrissy came out, we heard the bad news, and Chrissy said, you know, why don't you guys just go up there and I'll stay here with Andrew? And Errol said, no, Mommy, no, we can't leave you. And I said, I'm going to say her name. I blew it. But she didn't. And so we ended up staying. We didn't go. And we said, we'll just go Christmas. And we thought, okay, it's a couple more weeks. We'll just wait. We'll go up Christmas. And we tried to go up again. And we did make it there that time. And let's see, one got pneumonia. All of them got chicken pox. And some other things happened. And I was like, you know what? Why don't they just come and visit us? Let's not do that again. I did take them to see snow one time in her life. I did. And I said, you know, Daddy loves you very much because I'm taking to see snow. If you ever see it again, it's going to be on your own dime because I'm not going. I hate it. I do. We took them there once. So you're around family and friends, and I'm thankful for being here. In January will be our 20th year here, starting in ministry, 20 years. And we're grateful for that. I know we beat the average in Baptist churches. You know, they don't usually stay that long, pastors, one reason or another. And I'm grateful for that my kids have grown up in one church and they feel comfortable here. And this has been their home. And it's been a blessing to us. I'm grateful for this new building. I'm grateful for it. We're so thankful. And I go on and on, my church family, all that. I'm just grateful and thankful for all the things that God has done with us. Can I tell you, I'm really, really thankful that Jesus Christ forgave me, a sinner. I can't tell you how thankful I am. Now, listen, there's days that I don't like myself, really. And on those worst days when I don't even like myself, Jesus still loves me. And for life of me, I don't know why. Now, I'm glad He does. I'm glad He doesn't go, get out of here. You know, He could, but He doesn't. And I'm just overwhelmed sometimes by the love of God that He would love me on my worst day, that Jesus Christ still loves me the same. Because He's the same yesterday, today, and forever, and He loves us that way. I'm grateful for that. Now, I'm grateful for a lot of things. A lot of things Jesus did. This morning is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to talk about things I'm thankful that Jesus didn't do. So, you know, what did you say, preacher? Did you say you're thankful for things Jesus didn't do? I said, yeah, I am. There's some things that Jesus didn't do that I'm very, very thankful for. When I share them with you, you're going to say, okay, I get it. I see where you're going. But there's some things Jesus didn't do that we're going to talk about this morning. I'm very, very grateful that He didn't do them. And one of all the first things, I'm so grateful that Jesus didn't come down off the cross at Calvary. I'm grateful he didn't. See, when you look at the story and you look at Jesus, you look in the upper room, he's talking with his disciples, he's having a meal with them, he tells them, listen, I'm getting ready to go die. And then he leaves there. And where does he go after dinner? He goes to the Garden of Gethsemane. He goes there, and what he does, he prays 3 times. And here's his prayer, the same thing. Father, if there's any other way other than this, please, if there's any way, please take this cup. But if not, your will be done. Not he prayed that one time. Came back, his disciples, they're sleeping. They ate 2 meals and had them sit down in the dark. What do you think was going to happen? They fell asleep. Then he goes, he prays again. He says, Father, please, if there's any other way, let this cup pass before me, please. But if not, we'll do it your way. Your will be done, but if there's any way, we could do it. He comes back, they're sleeping again. 3 times. Do you understand? 3 times. Jesus asked his Father for the same thing. It's the first time in eternity God the Father told God the Son, no. No. There is no other way. We can't do it any other way. This is the plan. We got to stick to it. And I know you hate telling your kids no when it's something they really, really want. I know it. What was it like for God the Father to tell his Son no for the first time ever in eternity? He'd never said it before. And Jesus never heard no before from his daddy. Never. Every time he asked for anything, yep, absolutely. He asked him this time, he says, no. He said, okay, Dad, let me, just in case you didn't hear me first time, could we please do it some other way? No. He waits a little bit more and he says, okay, I'm going to ask one more time, Dad. Could we please figure out another way other than what we're getting ready to do? He says, no. I'm sorry, son, but we can't. There is no other way. If we don't go through the plan, there's no hope for mankind. This is it. There's no backup plan. There's no plan B. We have to do it this way. Now, I'll keep that in mind because he goes all the way through and he says, yes, sir, absolutely. And he does exactly what the Father wants, but it gets worse for him because he goes all the way and he goes to the cross. And while he's on the cross, he's being tormented. Things happen on a cross that ought not to happen. First of all, he got beat more than he should have. He gets nailed to a cross, and he's there. And I'm grateful he didn't come off the cross, because let me tell you, one who walks on water, raises the dead, can multiply food, can calm storms. If he wanted to come down from a cross, he could have. Can I tell you, if he wanted to come off that cross, he could have. It'd have been done. If he wanted to get himself off that, he could have done that. But he didn't. Now, what happened was this. In Matthew 27:39-43, it says, those who passed by blasphemed him, wagging their heads and saying, you who destroy the temple and build it 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross. If you are who you say you are, prove it. Come down. Now, does that sound familiar, if you are the Son of God? There was a movie out before most of you were born called The Last Temptation of Christ. I wouldn't watch it. I don't want to watch it. But I can tell you that wasn't the Last Temptation of Christ. Can I tell you this is the Last Temptation of Christ right here? Because Satan wouldn't have told him to do it if he couldn't have done it. If you're God's son, prove it. Because you know why that sounds familiar? Because at the beginning of his ministry, when he went out after he fasted 40 days in the wilderness, what did Satan say? If you're the Son of God, turn those stones to bread. If you're the Son of God, fall down and worship me. If you're the Son of God, jump off the temple. He said the same thing. If you're really who you say you are, then do something. And he says it at the cross. That's the last temptation. Because Satan knows that Jesus can, if he wants, he can get off. He could jump off that cross right now if he wanted. But he asked 3 times to do it some other way. And God said no. He said, there is no, I ain't doing it. I'm staying right where he put me. Because I already asked. And he said no. And I'm not doing it my way. I'm going to do it his way. His will is that I die here and pay for the sins of mankind. Because if He doesn't die on the cross, none of us have our sins forgiven. Do you understand that? If He doesn't go through with the plan that God put in place, if He jumps off the cross, you and I don't have forgiveness. Oh, they might have believed in that day. Come down from the cross if you're the Son of God, and we'll believe you. He'd have had followers for a day or so, but no one would have been able to have been forgiven of their sins because the price wouldn't have been paid. There'd be no hope for mankind if He'd come down from the cross. See, it gets a little bit worse, though, because if you go to the next passage in verse 41 and following, it says, likewise, the chief priests, also mocking with the scribes and elders, said, He saved others, Himself He cannot save. If He is the King of Israel, let Him come down from the cross right now, and we'll believe Him. He trusted in God. Let Him deliver Him now, if He will have Him. For He said, I am the Son of God. See, the common people were wagging their head going through and mocking Him, telling Him to go down from the cross. And then those who rejected Him at triumphal entry, when He walked through those gates, when He rode that donkey and He declared Himself King of Israel, they rejected Him. And now they're saying, if all that stuff was true the other day, Jesus, if it was when you declared yourself king, if you come down from the cross right now, we'll believe you. If you come off that cross right now, then we'll believe who you are. We'll believe you. You trusted in God, we'll let God deliver you. Just come down right now and we'll follow you. That's what He's been wanting since the first day He started. For the elders to know who He is. He's the Messiah. He's one who God promised. He is God's Son. He is the one that was to come. He's the one that Moses prophesied about. He's the one that the prophets testified, Isaiah and Jeremiah and Ezekiel and all the other prophets and David who wrote the Psalms. This is the one. And now they're telling Him, if you just come off that cross, we'll believe you. What would have happened if He came off that cross? And I remember watching, people do the acting, the passion they call it, where they nailed Jesus on a cross. And I remember watching this one video. This guy was up there pretending to be Jesus, and he slipped, and he came all the way down. I thought, oh my goodness, what if Jesus actually came down from the cross when they asked Him to? I said, I wouldn't go to heaven. No one would. Because if He didn't pay the price on Calvary, if He doesn't do what God said, if He doesn't pay that price, then no one has their sins forgiven. No one. Now, you think, can it get worse? Yeah, it can get a little bit worse. It can. Because here He is. He already asked His Father if there's any other way. He said no. People are mocking Him. Then the elders and chief priests come out and they mock Him. And then it gets worse in verse 46. Because it says, about the 9th hour, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. You think, what is that? He says, my God, why have you forsaken me? So Jesus is calling out. It's the same thing at Psalms 22, verse 1. It's the same thing. My God, why have you forsaken me? You know what that means in English, modern day English? Listen, He's talking to His Father, and here's what He says. Daddy, Daddy, where are you? Our sin separated God the Father from God the Son. And for the first time ever in eternity, the Son was not connected to His Father. Wasn't there. He doesn't even know what it felt like. He's never been there before. And He's calling out and said, you too? You? At that point, do you understand? He is completely, utterly alone. His Father's not there. Everyone else is mocking Him. If there's any time He said, I'm going to change plans, it'd be right now. I'm not going through with this. I don't want to do this. I don't have to do this. Because now He's alone. If it didn't get worse, it happened right there where His Father's presence wasn't there. He had never, ever been separated from His Father from eternity past. He always knew where His Father was. They were in perfect union together. And because of our sins, the separation came through and broke that. And now He says, my God, why did you leave me? Why did you forsake me? Why did you abandon me? And that's what He's calling out. But He still didn't come down. He didn't.